Today, I'm going to show you how to do AI SEO in 2026. This is based on what's working for me. So I'm just going to share the tactics that's working for me right now. You can see, for example, this website is at like 0 or 3 clicks a day, and it's gone all the way up to 176 clicks per day. And this is free traffic from Google, let alone all the other traffic that it gets from other AI search engines by ranking. This is for juliangoldie.com, which is my agency's website. And so what we're going to kick it off with is this AI agent called GLM 4.7. And GLM 4.7 basically is like a Chinese AI agent. You can use it for free, and that's one of the benefits for this, because you can use it for actually creating the content, but you can also generate different tools that will help you rank your content and also automate SEO itself. So we're going to get straight into this. I'm going to show you some of my best techniques for using this. And if you've never used GLM 4.7, or if you need a full guide or anything like that, I'm actually going to walk you through some of the video notes we have today. So what we actually have is a bunch of resources. This is inside the AI Success Lab, which comes with all my best trainings, a community of 42,400 people. We also have, for example, a complete masterclass on how to do AI SEO. And one of the modules that we're covering today is GLM 4.7. So, in the next few minutes, you're going to learn how to set up GLM 4.7, even if you don't speak Chinese. It is a Chinese AI, but it's all in English, don't worry. The exact one-click automation that creates SEO content, how to connect this to your existing workflows, why this free tool is outperforming many paid alternatives in the 30-day plan to get this running inside your business, all right? So the concept here is like what most people get wrong about AI SEO is that they think more tools equals better results. And it's wrong. It's like going to the gym and using every single machine for 2 minutes each. That would get you nowhere. So instead, you need one powerful workflow that does the heavy lifting, and GLM 4.7 is one of the best ways to do it, all right? So what I've actually done, for example, and this is something I can use for creating content, is I can use a prompt like this, and we can copy and paste this one. Here we go. And I've actually used it over here. So all you do is you plug in your keyword, like you can see. You say, you are my SEO content assistant, create a compelling headline, 1,500 word blog post, include 5 subheadings, add a meta description, blah, blah, blah. And here's my keyword, right? And what do I actually do is generate this AI SEO article, as you can see. And it's pretty simple to do. So here's a headline, here's a meta description, here's the information. Some of it you're going to cut off, obviously, like that, right? But basically, that's basically how it works. And it's quite simple and easy to generate that content. It is simple to do. And, literally, it's just a one-click sort of automation. I would always recommend editing the content before you publish it, of course. But if you want tips on that, inside the AI Success Lab, we actually have the Goldilocks Zone framework, which is a step-by-step checklist for really just quality control in your content before you publish it. Always do that, folks. All right, so next thing we're going to test out is creating a lead magnet, right? And, we'll run through some of the best prompts to use this stuff today. So, for example, what we can actually do is we can go into GLM 4.7. We can plug in this prompt, right? So I run a business in, and then you just insert your niche. So I run a business in the SEO industry, right? Give me 20 long tail keyword ideas that beginners would search for. Focus on questions and how to phrases, format as a simple list, right? And basically what this will do is automatically generate all the keyword research for you. And if you look at the blogs from this particular website that we're using as a case study, as you can see, basically the way that we're doing this for juliangoldie.com is, if you have a look at the blog here, we're using the same sort of frameworks, right? So for example, here we're just targeting low competition keywords. We actually embed the original video. Then we insert links to our funnels throughout the page to generate more traffic and direct it. Bear in mind, like, there's already pop-ups on this website, and there's a big button that says free SEO strategy session. So, it's quite often we don't even need to put the links throughout. And there's a lead magnet at the top, but that's basically how we do this, right? And then if we go back inside GLM 4.7, you can see that we have a bunch of long tail keywords, right? So how to do keyword research for free. Well, you could do it with GLM 4.7, right? And these are all potential keywords and articles that we could write in our niche. And you could go deeper than that, but that's basically how easy it is. And if you have questions as we go along, like, feel free to ask. But Yeah, that's another automation. So just to recap, we've done the content for the blog post and we've actually automated finding keywords as well. Let's keep going through this. So, another thing that we could actually start doing, let's have a look through some of these prompts. This is a 30-day plan that tells you what to implement day by day if you want to steal this stuff from me. But for example, we could actually take our content, right? New chat here. And we could say, okay, review this content and optimize it for SEO. You paste in your content from the blog. So let's say, for example, we'll take the content from this page, copy that, paste it in, ask it to check for like keyword density, readability, missing subheadlines, opportunities to add relevant keywords naturally, meta description improvement, and semantic SEO as well, right? Related keywords. So we're going to hit enter like so, and that'll actually review our content for us. So that's another way to really attack your SEO strategy. And, bear in mind, like GLM 4.7 is free, right? So you can use it for free. You can basically create content, do keyword research. You can analyze your existing content to improve it and use all these different ways to generate better opportunities for SEO, right? And you can see here it's actually doing a final polish. And it's a thinking model as well when it's doing this. Now, one of the other opportunities, whilst it's doing that in the background, actually it's finished it now, so we can run through it. But you can see here it's actually analyzed, like, here's the keyword density, the readability, the structure, semantic SEO, etc. And it's actually rewritten the article with better semantics, better optimization across the page. I would actually say the formatting looks a lot nicer as well. And actually the content itself seems a lot nicer. So that's one way to do it as well. And then you can also, for example, use this for internal links, FAQ schema, etc. Now, the old way, if we have a look at this, right? The old way was like manually researching keywords for 2 hours, manually writing content, manually optimizing everything, manually creating variations and building the system or buying expensive subscriptions and hiring writers who need constant management and then hoping the content actually works, right? That's the old way of doing SEO. It was quite time consuming. If you use something like GLM 4.7 to help you, then, GLM 4.7 is going to research the keywords for you, write the content, AI optimize it automatically, create variations on demand if you need to. So, for example, when we're posting to my website, we'll actually create another variation and then we'll post that on Reddit as well, right? And this subreddit also gets a lot of views. It actually gets more views than my actual website, right? So, for example, if we check out this Reddit here, it gets like 70,000 views per month using this SEO content and the optimized content, right? So when we're doing this, like, we can actually repurpose the content across multiple platforms. And then, for example, if you're getting 70,000 views per month on Reddit and then, 200 clicks a day on your website or whatever, well, then this adds up, right? And it generates a lot of traffic to the funnels you actually want to drive traffic to. And so you can automate a big part of the process, and it's really, really simple and easy to do. All right. Now, some people say like free AI tools can't compete with paid ones, but I would say, the new empowering belief here is like free tools are now outperforming paid alternatives on benchmarks. And this actually shocked me. All right. So like I literally track every minute of my day, right? Day, task, what it's related to, how many minutes. I'm obsessed with efficiency, right? When you actually see GLM 4.7's benchmark scores, it actually beats, for example, ChatGPT on coding tasks. And when I've tested it out myself, here's what I found. For SEO content, for automations, for basic coding, this works just as well as ChatGPT. That's like finding the best Muay Thai gym in Bangkok is free, right? You'd be crazy not to train there. The other thing is, well, some people say, well, AI will make my content sound robotic, but AI sounds robotic when you give it robotic prompts, right? This is like blaming the steak for tasting bad when you cooked it wrong. And I love steak, it's my favorite food. So the problem isn't the AI, the problem is the instructions. When I write prompts, I include the tone, examples of content, the reading level of the specific audience, and, garbage in, garbage out. So great prompts equals great content out. So that's basically how you can use GLM 4.7. The other thing, the final thing that you can do is like you could actually create an SEO dashboard whether that's for you or for your agency. So if we have a look at this prompt, for example, you can create these nice little dashboards, kind of like a mini SaaS tool here that stores your data. And then you can actually share and explore that with people, whether that's in your team or your clients if you're running the agency, or just for yourself as well. There's some other cool stuff as well, like you can build a task list manager, to-do list app sort of builder, and then you can add tasks and track them. So for example, let's say you needed to optimize the keywords and then add content, etc. Well, you could do that with GLM 4.7 quite simply. So thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already, feel free to book in a free SEO strategy session. Link in the comments and description. This will show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visitors this month. You can book your free SEO strategy session. You get a free SEO domination plan, discover the secrets of link building. We'll answer any questions that you want on the call. If you just want to order SEO directly, you can actually go onto our backlink portal, link in the comments and description, and you can actually order SEO online. So if you want to order SEO online, we have a bunch of guarantees to help you here. And we actually have a flash sale that's still on right now. And you can just pick which package you want and then check out and order. And it's as simple as that, to be honest with you. Today, what I'm going to show you is how to create SEO optimized content that actually ranks using Claude. And Claude is one of the most powerful and sentient ways to write content in 2026. And they're actually, for example, really making it easy to create content that actually ranks. All right. So, I really call Claude the depth engine because, ChatGPT is like really good for quick tasks. Gemini is great for research, etc. But Claude goes deep. It understands context like no other AI. It remembers what you told it 50 messages ago. It creates content that actually sounds human. And that's why I built this workflow around it. Okay. So you can see here, for example, this website went from 2 clicks a day all the way up to 176 clicks a day. And the trajectory of that website is really nice, as you can see. So the way that we're doing this is basically we use this prompt to generate content. So you can see over here, if we take this SEO optimized prompt, as you can see, this is actually from the AI Profit Boardroom community that I run. And if we plug in our keywords, so for example, let's say our keyword is like SEO training Japan, and we've got some context about who we are, what we do, etc., where we want to funnel traffic to. We've got the links right there. And then we can click enter like so, and that will actually create an SEO optimized article that's much more likely to rank. Okay. Don Morell here, ready to learn, my man. Thank you very much for joining, Don. Appreciate you. We're going to keep generating this. See, you can see how it's beginning to create the content. Now, one of the best things about Claude, I mean, if we have a look at that website that's ranking really well right now, just to analyze, reverse engineer what's actually working. If you go to the blog here, you can see some examples of the content we've created, right? So basically, if we're targeting like the keyword rank with Notebook LM or Notebook LM SEO, etc., what we're going to do is put that inside the title. And then we have the introduction, a video that basically talks about the same topic and is semantically related. We have links to our funnels to funnel traffic to it. And then we have a breakdown throughout the page of exactly what we're covering, including some FAQs at the end, right? And so you'll see that Claude is beginning to create this inside artifacts, and it will generate the content. Now, we just consistently publish content around low competition keywords throughout the page, and just typically we'll take all of our videos and then turn them into video transcripts, right? So for example, if I type in I don't know, Notebook SEO onto Google, what you're going to see here is that my website ranks, but also a lot of my videos rank as well. So you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4 different videos ranking on the first page of Google for that particular keyword, another video right there. And then we've got another article right there that's ranking for this keyword, right? And a bunch of shorts, which is pretty crazy as well, right? So basically what I'm showing you here is you can dominate the first page of Google pretty quickly and easily for that particular keyword just using these methods. Now, one thing I haven't actually checked for this particular keyword is whether we are ranking inside Perplexity and other AI search engines. So let's type in how to do notebook LM SEO. Now, obviously, people aren't going to be typing in that sort of keyword directly, but they will be typing around stuff like that. And AI search, particularly, it goes so deep that it will find many different angles to show you in your content, right? So if we have a look at this particular keyword, what you can see is it's reviewed the sources, right? And if we have a look at this one, where's that source it from? So that is an article from LinkedIn. We've got an article from my website, juliangoldie.co.uk. Inside there, what else have we got? We have a YouTube video of mine in the top 10. So that's one of my videos. And then also, let's have a look here. Oh, we also have a Reddit article ranking inside Claude as well, right? Inside Perplexity, sorry. So you can see how you're ranking, and we are ranking multiple times for this keyword. We actually show up #1 right there for this particular keyword. And with a combination of YouTube videos plus taking that YouTube content, those transcripts, and then plugging them into a tool like Claude, it's quite easy to rank inside these AI search engines. I think everyone's worried that SEO doesn't work anymore, or it's harder to get traffic from Google. I think honestly, like if you have the right strategies, you can rank more times inside the top 10 rankings. I mean, look at us ranking right here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different. Let's have a look at this one as well. Yeah, we've got 4 different articles or pieces of content ranking in the top 10 for that particular keyword. And then if you have a look at Google itself, we're ranking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's have a look. 6 times on the first page of Google, plus our shorts. So 10 times on the first page of Google there. So we've got 4 shorts ranking on Google for that keyword, right? And so like, it's just, it's almost getting easier to do SEO if you know the right strategies. And that's what I'm showing you today, right? And so most people use Claude like a fancy search engine, ask a question, get an answer, move on. But that's like buying a Ferrari and only driving it to the grocery store. You know, you're missing 90% of its power. So the real magic happens when you give Claude context about your business, train it on your voice and style, and use it as a thinking partner, not just a tool, right? So what we got here, so for example, Don says, I'm getting it. However, will this method work with barbershops and hair salons? Absolutely. We actually have a lot of clients who are local businesses, and some of them are hair salons and that sort of thing. So I want to show you some examples of how you can do this using your business, right? And if you have the name of your business as well, I can even do it for you and create an article for you right now, just to show you an example. But in the meantime, I'll just show you some examples of how you can do the keyword research. Miguel says, can you help me? Absolutely. Feel free to post any questions. Always happy to help. And then Don, if you want to post, you know, what your website is as well, I can actually work on creating some content for you and showing you the process. In the meantime, I'll just go off and do some random keyword research for a barber anyway, right? So if we say, for example, barber, New York, right? Something like that, right? Relatively medium keyword to rank for. So there is some competition for that keyword. What I would typically do is just go for keywords that are low competition, like you can see here. So for example, like KD 10 and below is perfect, right? So if we have a look at the keywords down here, for example, what we got best barber New York. That's a pretty easy keyword to rank for. I mean, very easy. High traffic potential, boom, we could go for that, right? So how are we going to do that? Well, what we would do here is we're going to start a new chat. And then we're going to take that particular prompt that we took earlier. We're going to go over to Claude here, and we're going to plug in the keyword. So for example, if we found an easy keyword like best barber New York, we're going to plug that into the keyword section, and then we can start creating the content. Now, of course, what you also want to do is just change this so that you have your actual website and everything else ready to go inside here, right? So what you would do, for example, I'm going to open up a new tab and we'll create a sample like this, but for a barbershop. So I'm going to type this in. I'm going to say, rewrite this as dummy text for a barbershop in New York, e.g. make it all up, plus customize to a barbershop website instead, right? And basically what I can do is just get some dummy source context that I can plug into the prompt and show you the outputs in a second. So we'll wait for that to load. And you can see here, for example, okay, Marcus Williams, he owns Blade and Fade Barbershop in Brooklyn, blah, blah, blah. here's the pages he wants to direct traffic to, right? So what we can do is take that source context, like you can see, we can plug it into this source context section like so. So we're going to say create an SEO optimized article for this, keyword equals this, here's the source context about me, blah, 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 and then we'll hit enter, right? And so we've found the keyword research. That is critical. You really want to find easy keywords you can go after. And the easier they are, the easier it's going to be to rank. So, if you can find those KD zeros or those KD fives, etc., on Ahrefs, you're already winning. That's actually the first thing we do for clients as soon as they sign up to our service. Is like we make sure they get some easy keywords to rank for. And now you can see we're beginning to create the content. And it's going to start creating the content, as you can see. So we'll wait for that to load. But you can see how that's just going off, creating the content, building it out. Now, if you actually want to have a look at how we've written this, we said like making sure it's easy to read, conversational, UK grammar, FAQs, headers, etc. Probably would change that to US grammar, honestly. First person is pretty good, and then we've done the rest, right? And now you can begin to see that it's actually working, it's actually creating content. So that's basically how the whole process works. Now we'll come out to the finalized output in the end, but that's essentially how you can do this. And so what you can also do is you can create a Claude project, and then that's pre-stored with your writing instructions. So for example, if you go to the project section here, we've actually got like a project for writing tweets, a project for writing live stream notes, right? We've also got an offer builder. So this helps me generate new offers for the AI Profit Boardroom, my SEO services. Also, have all these different ones. Now, the main point here is like you can easily create a new project, plug in the prompt that we were talking about earlier, and then it can create content in your style that actually ranks every time, and you just plug it in the content, right? And bear in mind, like your content is not going to rank every time, just to be clear here. It's like, the more content you create, the more opportunities you have to rank. So for us, like we'll create content every single day. We know some of it's going to rank. We know some of it's not going to rank. We know some of it's going to rank in 6 months, maybe 12 months, and that's okay, right? We're playing the long game. We want to rank for decades, not for weeks or days. And that's essentially how we're doing this for this website, right? And bear in mind, like before we started doing this, we were getting like 3 clicks a day. Now we're getting 176 clicks a day, and that's growing, right? 176 times 30, that is 5,280 traffic per month for free. If we times that by 12, well, that's 63,000 people that find our website every year for free directly from Google, let alone all the AI search and everything else and all the other content that we publish as well across multiple platforms, like, for example, Reddit. So very powerful strategy, and Claude helps you automate pretty much all of that. So thanks so much for watching. What I've actually done is I have plugged in the strategy that we've talked about today. I've actually created the depth SEO blueprint inside the free video notes, some example prompts you can use. I've given you a 30-day plan as well. If we have a look at Claude here, it's generated the article for the barbershop now. So if we have a look at this, let's see what we got. There we go. So we've got the article, as you can see. We can actually save that to Drive if you want, into Google Drive, and you can see the content is good to go, right? And that's targeting the keyword, New York barbershop, right? Best barber, New York, that's the one, right? And then you can see it's optimized it in the title, the first line, etc. And yeah, that's how we generate the content itself. Now, if you go back to this as well, some people are going to say, well, AI content doesn't rank on Google. The new empowering belief is like AI assisted content ranks, right? Pure AI garbage, of course, it doesn't rank, right? There's a big difference here. Like if you say, hey, ChatGPT, write me a blog post about dog training, there's a huge difference between that and saying, hey, using Claude with brand context, your expertise, your examples, and your editing, well, Google's much more likely to rank that, right? It doesn't penalize AI content. They just penalize bad content, and bad content is generic, unhelpful, thin, and copied from everywhere else. Good content is specific to your audience, genuinely helpful, comprehensive, and has unique perspective. And Claude helps you create content faster. That's it. Good content faster. All right. Other people will say, well, I need to write everything myself to maintain quality. I would say the new empowering belief really is like the best content is AI drafted and human refined, right? So for example, like Muhammad Ali didn't become the greatest by training alone. He had trainers, coaches, sparring partners, and they helped him become better than he could have done alone. And Claude is your content training partner. It drafts, you refine, it suggests, you decide, it does heavy lifting, you add the expertise. And the result is you get better content in less time. And that's not cheating, that's just smart training, right? So feel free to get the video notes from today inside the AI Success Lab. We've also got a 30-day plan on exactly how to set this up. And what also included here is all the notes from today and all the prompts. And that's inside the AI Success Lab, which comes with a community of 42,400 members. And if you go inside the classroom here, you can get everything from today. Inside this section. Today, I'm going to show you how to make money with AI SEO. This is basically, one of the ways and one of the strategies that we're using to grow the AI profit boardroom right now. And you can see, for example, our results so far here. And basically, the way that we're doing this is we are creating content, like you can see here, that funnels traffic to our pages that convert traffic. Now, we have two different options, and I'm going to guide you through both. And essentially, what you're going to learn today is the customer magnet frameworks, how to create content that attracts buyers, not just browsers, the 3 types of SEO content that actually convert, how to automate the entire system with free AI tools, and the 30-day plan to set this up inside your business for SEO. All right, so the way that we're going to get started with this is with the customer magnet framework. So let me show you exactly how this works. All right, so what this helps you do is pull customers towards you instead of you chasing them. Here's the big idea, right? So the course concept here is the 3 types of SEO content. There's traffic content that gets eyeballs, there's trust content that builds authority, and there's transaction content that creates browsers into buyers, right? And most people only create option 1, which is traffic content. They get traffic, but they don't get any customers. And the customer magnet framework balances all 3. So let me show you exactly how this works, right? So for example, here we can go into something like Claude, and we can plug in a prompt like this, right? So we could say, okay, create a comparison article like AI profit boarding versus learning alone, right? Here's the target audience, the structure with the hook, what most people try, the community, blah, 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 right? Make it genuinely helpful, not salesy. And a reader should feel informed, not sold to, right? I use Claude because it's by far the most sentient when it comes to creating content, the most humanized, etc. And so now it's going to begin to create that content. Now, this is basically transaction content, right? It captures people who are ready to take action. Then you can also use prompts like this for generating trust content. And if you want to build, for example, traffic content, then you can create like listicles or general topics, right? And so what we're going to show you today is basically how we create content that ranks like this. So for example, if you look at this particular page, how I rank faster with Notebook LM, right? And you can see that we've written the content here. What we actually do is we embed a video inside the article that people are quite likely to read. And if they read it, they're going to be funneled into a page to our money pages, right? So for example, here, if we check out my blog, let me show you an example. We've got a page like this one, right? And we have a lead magnet right at the top when people land on the page. Then we have the tutorial that convinces them, well, number one, it gives them value, creates goodwill, and then it convinces them, hey, you should check out our free community or our paid community, etc. Right? And it actually funnels traffic from there to our page, right? So for example, if you look here, it's funneling traffic from this link to our community, right? And so basically what we're doing throughout the page is really attracting people from Google and then sending them and driving them over to our funnels that will convert that traffic. Most people get it wrong because they create content that actually attracts traffic, but they don't know how to convert it. And I would say there's 2 ways that we actually do this. So the first way is that when we rank this content on Google, they'll actually click through to our free community, right? So if you have a look through this page, like this page, for example, you can see here that we actually generate traffic to the free AI Success Lab, and they can join this community they sign up, they become a lead, etc. Right, and it drives traffic, and then they get nurtured into becoming a client later. The other option that we have is that we actually send them directly to the AI Profit Boardroom, which is our community, and that's like kind of a direct conversion play. And honestly, like the conversion rates are not that high for if you do this. But the thing is, like, if you can get a lot of traffic at scale, then the potential, the upside is way higher, right? So that's basically what we're doing here. Now, if we have a look, we've got the article being generated here from Claude from before. It does take a bit of a long time, especially if you're generating it in a doc like this. But the cool thing here is you can open it in Google Drive, and then you can share it with your team, etc., or you can save it, etc. Right? You see how it's written the content to basically convert. You know, it's got some nice tables in there, nice bullet points, nice FAQs, and then it actually directs people to get the AI Profit Boardroom. And so essentially that's what we're doing over and over again. Like every single day we'll publish content to our website. Some of it ranks, some of it doesn't. So what, right? Like the main point here is like we get traffic over time and we keep building on it and compounding on it. And that's the goal here, is really to just generate more traffic to the website, generate more traffic to our funnels. Now, you might be saying, why would we direct people to our free funnel? Right? Why would we get people to click from our content to our free funnel? The reason for that is because it actually nurtures people into becoming a client eventually, right? We give so much value inside this community, and people are inside there every single day getting value that it builds enough trust and enough goodwill that eventually they'll buy. And, you know, bear in mind, once someone joins, they'll probably get some emails, they'll get the posts inside the community, they'll watch the content that also funnels them into upgrading, and then also, we just have a bunch of strategies like this to generate leads, right? And so that's essentially how it works. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get all the video notes from today, you can get that inside the AI Success Lab, link in the comments description. And if you go to the AI SEO section here, you'll find all the notes, all the video resources, and the framework for doing this stuff. On top of that, you'll get the live builds that I've talked about today, as you can see. And, you know, some people are going to say, well, isn't SEO just about getting traffic? And I would say the empowering belief, the new one that you should really focus on, is like the right SEO strategy gets customers, not just visitors, right? So, you know, here's a story that changed my thinking. Like I used to celebrate every traffic spike. Like, ooh, we hit 10,000 visitors per month. But my business wasn't growing because those visitors weren't buyers, right? And so they were reading like, what is SEO content, which is interesting, but they weren't ready to take action. And when I shifted to the customer magnet content method, traffic actually dropped, but leads went up because I was attracting the right people. So, you know, just really think about it, because traffic is a vanity metric and customers are the real score, right? That's what you want to focus on. Some people say, well, I need to rank for high volume keywords. The new empowering belief really is like low volume buyer keywords beat high volume browser keywords, right? And Alex Hormozi talks a lot about this. Like, would you rather have 10,000 people who kind of sort of might be interested, or 100 people who are ready to buy? I know which one I'd choose, right? In SEO terms, what is email marketing? Might have like 50,000 searches per month, but it's got very low buyer intent. So don't worry about the volume, right? Whereas, for example, if you look at best email marketing tool for coaches, well, that might have 500 searches per month, but actually it's way higher buyer intent. So which one would you rather rank for? Well, the smarter option is the second option, right? Other people say, well, content takes too long to convert. The new empowering belief for this really is like the right content converts immediately, right? Like I'll track every minute of my day task, what it's related to, how many minutes. And here's what I discovered: like transaction content, comparisons, reviews, best X content converts in days, not months, because you're capturing people at the moment of decision. They've already done their research. They're looking for confirmation. Your content gives them that confirmation and they convert faster. Right, that's what it's all about. So if you want to get all the video notes from today, feel free to get that. Link in the comments description. Also comes with a 30-day implementation plan. So for example, Don, I know that you said you'll be working on this all day, which is pretty cool. So if you want to get a 30-day customer magnet plan for doing SEO, we actually got a 30-day implementation roadmap with prompts, daily actions, and you can just follow this step by step and start working on getting results, right? And that's basically how it goes. So thanks so much for watching. Check out the AI Success Lab. Link in the comments description. Comes with all the tutorials for doing this stuff, an amazing community and everything else. If you haven't already, feel free to book in a free SEO strategy session. Link in the comments description if you're interested in becoming a client for our SEO agency. And on that call, we'll basically guide you through a framework, give you a SEO domination plan. And then if you're ready to become a client, feel free to sign up. On top of that, if you just want to get started and you want to get someone else to do SEO for you, feel free to check out our backlink portal. And basically on this portal, you can order SEO online, and then we'll just go off and do it for you. And that way you don't need to wait for a call. You don't mess around with speaking to someone. You just order online, use the coupon code, and you're good to go. All right. So feel free to get that link in the comments and the description. Ahmad, thank you so much for reposting the stream. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Today, I'm going to show you how to do parasite AI SEO on Reddit. This is one of the strategies we use. You can see, for example, our subreddit here actually gets 70,000 views per month by creating content. This is not like spammy content. It's actually like content people enjoy reading. You can see here, for example, people commented on it. We publish a lot of content. We've got 3,800 members. And we only started this a few months ago, this subreddit. I actually thought it was too late and wouldn't work. And then it began to take off. And now we basically just publish our videos like you can see inside the channel here. And we also publish a lot of articles as well. So I'm going to show you how the process works and what we do and how to do it step by step and how to replicate this yourself in case you're interested in getting traffic. And the great thing about Reddit is it is free to use, right? I mean, you don't have to pay to use Reddit. Anyone can post on there. Anyone can start up the subreddit. And what I've actually done is for the resources for this live stream, I've actually created a list of stuff that you can use to help you to generate this. And the main thing to note here is like Reddit SEO is really powerful because, Google made a deal with Reddit, right? And now Reddit can rank really quickly on page one of Google and also AI search engines within like 24 hours, like not weeks, not months, but hours. And I'll show you an example, right? So for example, if we go over to Perplexity here, as you can see, and we'll just put something like notebook AI, LM SEO, right? Something like that, right? What you can see is it will actually source different sources around the web, and it will pull in, for example, like LinkedIn or, for example, YouTube and that sort of thing, right? And basically what you can do is you can actually rank this content, not just inside Reddit, as you can see, but also inside AI search engines that people are searching via, right? So if you have a look at, for example, this keyword, you can see that my Reddit article from the subreddit is actually ranking inside Perplexity directly, and it's got links to all my funnels right at the top to convert that traffic, right? And you can see another example here. So this is the traffic for this website. We're using the same technique, but on the website, and it works. So even if you don't want to do it directly on Reddit, no problem. You can actually do it on a website like you can see here. And the other thing you want to see here is like we're actually embedding a YouTube video at the top. So we don't just rank directly inside Google. We don't just rank inside Perplexity and AI search engines, but we also rank directly on YouTube as well. And so like, you're 5x in your traffic at this point. And you see it's neatly formatted. The content reads really nicely. This article itself actually got 2,500 views directly on the platform, as you can see right there. So if we zoom in on that, there we go. All right. And then if we go and see more insights as well, you can see how it's performing. So 2,500 views, a decent amount of those from like the United States, bunch of upvotes, etc. 6 shares, 6 people shared this content, and it's pretty simple and easy. You can actually see where it's shared as well, which is interesting too. So I actually never look at those analytics, but I should pay more attention. The other cool thing here as well is like we created that 3 months ago, but it's still ranking inside Perplexity, right? So that's the great thing about this is when you're doing this, like you're creating content now, but it ranks this week inside Reddit. It could rank in 3 months' time inside AI search engines, and its reach just expands. You never get less views on a piece of content, of course, right? It only increases. And so you're creating these assets that can generate more traffic, more leads, more sales over the long term. So that's basically how it works. And so let me break down exactly how it goes. So we've published over 300 posts. We get like thousands and thousands of visitors, and we use AI free tools, and you can automate this. And the great thing about this is like, you don't need to be technical. You don't need a website. You don't need any visitors. And Google is literally just giving Reddit posts page 1 rankings right now. It's absolutely insane. In fact, Reddit threads appear in 82% of Google searches on page 1. I think most people don't realize that, but just read that again. Reddit threads appear in 82% of Google searches on page 1. That is insane. And most people have no idea this is happening. So let me show you the system of how this works, right? And this is called the Goldie Reddit Parasite Engine. This is my personal framework for turning Reddit into a free lead generation machine. It's the Reddit Parasite Engine. The difference between Reddit and why you should do it now is like Google signed a deal with Reddit. Actually, ChatGPT as well have leveraged this too. And so Google gets access to Reddit's content to train its AI models. So Reddit gets boosted in search results. And the result is, like, Reddit actually saw a 207% increase in ranking keywords. They added 110 million new keywords to their arsenal. And Reddit has a domain rating, a domain authority of 91, right? That's higher than Fortune 500 websites, right? So when you post on Reddit, you're borrowing their authority. Your post can rank faster than a brand new website ever could. I've tested this myself, and I've shown you the proof already that this works, right? So that's basically how it goes. I've given you a bunch of prompts here, for example, but what you can actually do is you could use Claude to actually generate names for your subreddit. But the first place to start is to really go to subreddits and create a new subreddit like you can see here, right? So for example, we created the AI SEO Insider, and that is a subreddit where we post all of our content, right? Now, from there, you want to pick a niche specific name. So for example, we've used AI SEO Insider. If you're in the e-commerce niche, you might use e-commerce growth hacks. If you were in the local business niche, you might use like local business AI, right? And you can actually use this prompt on Claude to come up with a bunch of names. From there, you want to start using the content engine. Now, you can use something like Claude. I would actually recommend Claude for creating content. And all you would do, right, is you would plug in like a social media post or a video transcript, etc., into Claude, as you can see, and you just paste the content in right there. So as an example of that, if I go over to YouTube here, right, and if I open this up, this YouTube video, and then we'll pull in the transcript from the page, all right, and then we'll take that, we'll go back to Reddit, paste in the content, and we'll see pasted content attached, right? We've taken the YouTube transcript, and now what we're actually going to do is get this to turn it into content for our subreddit. You would actually customize your subreddit right here, but you can see how you can easily generate, using that video transcript, an article based on that content, right? And because we're using our own content to generate the article, what it actually uses that first person perspective, right? Because it's all trained on our case study data and everything else. And then you can see the article right there, right? And that's basically how it works. That's what we do. We rinse and repeat it. Sometimes we just post YouTube videos. Sometimes we post the full articles, etc. But it is responsible for generating a large amount of traffic. We actually measured how many clicks we get from Reddit as well, and it's a decent percentage as well. And the other cool thing is like it actually compounds over time, right? So if you actually look at our traffic month on month, you know, January, we didn't get anything. That's when we started. February, we barely got anything. You know, it's a slow burner, right? It took a long time to start getting traction, but it compounds over time. And now you can see we're up to the point where we're just getting like 70,000 views per month on this platform. And it works really well. We've had over 250,000 views this year, 3,800 members, etc. Right. So if we have a look at the past 30 days, 70,000 views on that content, which is insane, right? That is insane, considering this is free. And so with a combination of your website, you know, Reddit, you can use LinkedIn, etc. It's quite easy to start generating a lot of content and then also ranking it. And as long as you quality control it before you publish it, you're good to go, right? So if you want all the video notes from today, you can get that, including some example prompts and everything else. I've actually given you a 30-day plan to really follow this step by step. The main thing to note here is like you're not spamming, you're not creating spammy content, you're creating quality content, checking it before you publish it, and then you can publish this and rank it across your own subreddit, and then generate an asset that actually, you know, pulls in visitors, pulls in leads, pulls in new members, etc. Right? And also giving you some ideas of like builds you could actually build. You know, for example, like you could actually get Claude to create like a visual dashboard of everything that you're doing today, along with a Claude Reddit response bot, right? See, for example, you could actually create something that monitors your subreddit, or you could just paste in the responses on the subreddit and get it to automatically answer community questions and that sort of thing. All right. So the old way of getting traffic was like you would build a website from scratch, wait 12 months for Google to trust you, write like 100 blog posts manually, build backlinks one by one, compete against massive sites, pay for ads to get any attention, hire writers or spend hours creating content, and then hope, Google doesn't penalize you. That was the old way of getting traffic, right? The new way with this Reddit method is like you can create a subreddit in 60 seconds. You borrow Reddit's authority, which is insanely high. You let Claude write all your content. You automate the posting with free tools. You rank within hours, not months. Zero ad spend required, no technical skills needed. And Google was literally pushing Reddit content to page one. I mean, 82% of all searches have a Reddit thread on the first page, right? And so this isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter and just using tools that exist right now that most people don't know about. I think that's the game in 2026, and the winners will use AI and the losers will do everything manually. So the question is, which one are you? Right. Now, let me break some limiting beliefs that might be holding you back. Because I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, I need to get a good writer to create content. I mean, here's the thing, right? So if you look at, for example, like Richard Branson, he's dyslexic. He can't write, right? But he's built $1 billion empire, right? And how has he done that? Well, he surrounds himself with people and tools that do what he can't. And Claude actually writes better than most humans. It writes in your voice. It writes on any topic. It never gets writer's block. You don't need to be a good writer, essentially, right? You just need to be a good editor. Read what Claude creates, fix what needs fixing, publish it, boom, you're done. And so the new empowering belief with SEO is really I'm the creative director and AI is my writing team. Other people will say, well, SEO takes too long. I don't have the patience for it. And I get it. Traditional SEO might take 6 to 12 months, and that's brutal. But Reddit Parasite SEO is pretty different, right? So I've ranked keywords in 24 hours, not 24 months, 24 hours, right? And why is that? It's because you're borrowing Reddit's authority. Google already trusts Reddit. So when you post there, Google trusts you instantly. And this is the shortcut. This is a hack. This is what everyone's been waiting for. So the new empowering belief really is like, I can rank fast by borrowing authority from platforms Google already trusts. And finally, like people say, well, Reddit is for nerds, Reddit is for memes, etc. It won't work for my business. Well, Reddit actually has over 108 million daily active users, right? 2 billion monthly visits. There's a subreddit for literally everything, right? Real estate, B2B software, fitness coaching, digital marketing, whatever you do, right? Your customers are probably on Reddit right now, asking questions, looking for help and searching for solutions. So you just need to be there when they do. And bear in mind, you don't just get the traffic from Google and AI search engines, but also get the traffic directly from Reddit's platform, which is very powerful too. And so, the new empowering belief really is like my ideal customers are already on Reddit. I just need to show up and help them. Okay. So that's basically how it works. I'm giving you the 30-day plan, all the prompts, case studies showing and proving that it works. And you can see all the strategies that we've talked about today. Edgelin says, Happy New Year, brother. Thanks for the videos. Happy to help. Great to see you and Happy New Year. And essentially, that's how we get so much views, in just 30 days using Reddit AI SEO. It's very powerful. Most people are not leveraging it properly. We're creating really good content. I mean, I myself and my team spend a lot of time creating this content, but with AI, we can really scale it and we can really get good results of it. And that's what we're working towards. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get all the video notes from today, the prompts, the resources, the links, the 30-day plan, etc., it's all inside the AI Success Lab. So feel free to get that. It's a community with 42,400 members. As you can see, it's completely free. You can see it's quite an active community as well. And then also inside the classroom here, if you go to the AI SEO section, as you can see, then you can check out the full guide from today, plus all of our best SEO trainings on how to get results with SEO. So if you're struggling with it, feel free to get that. That's completely free. If you want to get a free SEO strategy session, link in the comments and description. This will show you, how we take websites from like 0 to 145,000 visitors per month. And also it gives you a free link building acceleration session with a SEO domination plan. You will discover the secrets of SEO link building and we'll answer any questions you have on the call. And then finally, if you just want to order SEO directly online, you don't want to mess around with a consultation call, etc., and you want to become a client of ours, you can actually order SEO online using the backlink portal, link in the comments in the description. And basically between these options, you can just order online and get the package you want. And you also skip the setup fees because you can just order online and you don't have to jump on the call. So it makes it easier for everyone. So feel free to get that link in the comments and description. I appreciate you watching and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye-bye.